days of mourning are underway for Pope Francis following a funeral that brought world leaders together at the Vatican. There's also a notable meeting between President Trump and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky.
Bradley Blackburn joins us live from the newsroom with more on what's next for the Catholic Church. Good morning to you, Bradley.
Jen, Elaine, good morning. The date hasn't yet been set for the start of the conclave, but behind the scenes, discussions about the future of the church have almost certainly begun, and they're happening as the mourning continues for Pope Francis.
At the Vatican Sunday, St. Peter's Square was packed again as the faithful join in a mass on the second day of Novendiale, 9 days of mourning for Pope Francis. At St. Mary Major, mourners lined up to see the Pope's tomb for the first time as the basilica was reopened to the public. Saturday, he was buried there in a simple tomb with the Latin name Franciscus. The Pope was carried through Rome to his final resting place after world leaders gathered for his funeral at the Vatican, with a crowd of 250,000. The service emphasized Pope Francis's commitment to the poor and his desire for peace. And the funeral brought together President Trump and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, the remarkable image of them sitting face to face inside St. Peter's Basilica, discussing the Russia-Ukraine war. Later, the president threatened more sanctions against Russia in a post to social media, writing there was no reason for Putin to be shooting missiles into civilian areas, cities and towns over the last few days. Back in Rome, preparations are now underway for the conclave that will choose the next pope and the direction of the Catholic Church.
Certainly every conclave is a referendum on continuity or change. Francis at this moment is on the political losing side. The causes that he espoused, defense of advocacy for migrants, care for the environment, for the poor, these sorts of things are not fashionable right now.
The conclave is likely to begin next week.
And Pope Francis is the first pope to be buried outside of Vatican walls in more than 100 years. Several other popes are also buried at St. Mary Major, which was a place where Pope Francis often went to pray. Elaine, Jen.
All right. Thank you, Bradley Blackburn.